The results were announced. Thank you.
Pule, this is Christian from Netwerk 24 speaking. I would just like to know, how does it work now? Do you continue to be spokesperson for the ANC, and do you intend to be spokesperson for the ANC for the next 5 years? Thank you.
Pule, yeah, Slindalo Masiganda from ENCA. I know yesterday the media had requested to have a briefing with the outgoing top 6. Can we expect one with the one that's been,
with the
newly elected top 7? Thank you.
Okay, no, thanks. Just maybe to start off with your question, I've already I spoke to the president earlier on and the DP. In this instance, Comrade Paul Mashatile. So, and suggested that we do what we've been doing. Those of you who have covered our provincial conferences, you will know that halfway, especially after election of officials, by now I would be coming to the press room with them. So I raised that. The president then suggested that perhaps it would be prudent to do that engagement at the conclusion of the national conference, accompanied with the declaration. His commitment is that we don't just have to talk as the leadership, we also have got to say what are the key resolutions taken by this national conference. I have never taken the question of standing for positions of responsibility in the ANC personally. I don't invest emotions in campaigns. The leadership of the ANC will come and go. The ANC will remain. For me personally, it was never about merging numbers. It doesn't mean that very often when we see results of elections and those that voted for us, we don't see their names, we see the numbers. It doesn't mean that with those numbers, if they did not vote for Masina, they would have voted for me. No. Because numbers don't have names of people next to them. They are just that, they are numbers. So I don't want to stand here and start behaving like an angry girlfriend and say, no, here, no. Doesn't work like that. Comrade Masina had the courage himself to come and stand in front of the media and said, remember, he did not withdraw, he demobilized. So demobilizing and withdrawing are not the same. He demobilized and because his name was still on the ballot paper. So it meant that someone that might not have met him in the process of demobilizing and still thought that he is still standing would have gone into the voting station and voted. But it's all said and done now. We've got the leadership of the ANC. We have to rally behind this leadership. My campaign for Treasurer General ended when the name of Comrade Gwen Rabohupa was announced. I did not come to this national conference carrying a faction behind me. I came here with members of the ANC in good standing. My desire now is that they all go back to structures of the ANC and contribute towards the full life of organization. Make the ANC even much stronger. That's what we are going to have to do. I've worked with different leaders in the ANC. For the past 5 years, I worked with President Cyril Ramaphosa, accompanied him to almost every press interaction that he had, especially wearing the cap of the ANC. When I was elected at the 54th National Conference, I would have supported fully Secretary General Ace Magashule. When he was asked by the leadership to step aside, I still continued with my role as national spokesperson. I'm going to support every one of those officials in the same way that I did. I supported President Ramaphosa, I supported Comrade Didi, I supported Comrade Ace, I supported Comrade Jesse, I supported Comrade Paul, I supported Comrade Gwen, Comrade Gwede. I was going to do the same. They are the top leadership of the organization. The democratic choice of members of the ANC has prevailed. It is our duty to embrace it. Well, let me say this on record. I've done my work as national spokesperson of the ANC. It is important that the ANC now brings a new pair of hands to do this work. I will continue being a volunteer of the African National Congress. If I make it to the NEC and they still assign me a responsibility in the communications subcommittee, I will assist whomever is the national spokesperson. But I think it's now time to join the streets of South Africa. One of the things that motivated me to stand, Comrade Muluku, was because this position was no longer going to be full-time. So I at least started to imagine myself being part of the corporate world. I've given my time to the ANC, but I now want to go and see what the streets have in store for me. So, TV, they can come and continue. Nah, I'm fine. No. No. If I want to maintain my sanity, I will have to make sure that I give you guys new energy. I will allow the organization to decide on what they want to do, but I've enjoyed this ride with all of you. I know sometimes I offended some of you, but I made friends with many of you. I actually don't shout when I speak because some of you accused me of shouting. I don't shout when I speak. This is my voice, you know. Yes, I'm like this. I'm like this. My wife struggled with my voice for a very long time up until she got used to it. I'm not shouting. I'm saying this so that when you meet me in the streets of Johannesburg, you don't say, no, here is that shouter from the ANC. I don't shout. So how am I feeling? I'm fine. I said to my wife, I said to my kids, one thing that will make me happy is just knowing that this race is concluded. So the race is concluded. So that whole load of looking forward, one of your journalists here was trying to greet me and talk to me in the morning because I did not get the league. And I mean, by the way, when you stand, you must be positive. Mustn't stand and look doubtful. No, it's like when you go for a job interview. You must arrive there and they must already see that this one is employable. You arrive at a job interview and they doubt if we can hire this one. So you can see, I mean, you saw me, I was already working like a treasurer general. Been in my hands, you can see that this man is carrying a checkbook or something. You know? Because, I mean, if people nominate you for a position, you must show that you are ready for it. No. You know, we encouraged a lot of delegates here that it is possible. You know, we are humbled by the fact that members of the ANC at the 55th National Conference, they put a 42-year-old as Treasurer General and gave him the kind of votes that they gave me. Peace. So I'm humbled by that. Those that I lead with in the National Executive Committee, the great and wonderful team that I had at DIP. I was joking with them at the last week saying, Amos, you guys must know I might be going to the 8th floor because the treasury of the ANC is at the 8th floor and the communications is at the 9th floor. So I would effectively have occupied all the floors, 7 in the Youth League, 8 in the ANC, 9 in communications. But we'll be going to the 8th floor now to go and support O-Square. So I want to matata Natasha. Kim Jojo Libili wa bona ke sa ithola so Kim Jojo khut. Ka hore ele ya di salary ne do butshana nams. I get suppose ke tla ba ke seo. Those other questions are not going to be coming to me. They will be coming to the communications team. The new Treasurer General will do the work. I must also say that one of the things, and I'm sure that Slindelo will agree with me on this one, we have got 3 women in the officials, 3 women. But yesterday when the question was asked, why can't we pick up the hands today? 3 women in the officials. I mean, that is progress. It's 4. You want 4? We've got Comrade Nomvola, Maroping Ramokgopa, and Gwen Ramokgopa. We've got 3 women. And Tate Mologo told us yesterday that Oz Gwen is the first Treasurer General, is the first female Treasurer General. So you achieved it. We achieved it. We yes. So they are all our leaders. They are going to be embraced by all of us, and they are going to be supported by all of us. The immediate task of the ANC is to focus on the 2024 general elections. You have got the Secretary General that you have now in Comrade Mbalola. I don't even think that he might be needing a lot of a spokesperson. He's not media shy. So you guys are going to have fun. The new SG that is coming in has got that appetite to engage the media. The TG, when he was acting in the position of SG there, he only wanted to talk to the media on decisions. I'm sure with Mbak's programs, so the media must be happy that getting someone like Mbalola as a Secretary General is going to mean that you are going to have more voice of the ANC coming from that office of authority. So you save spokespersons. You know, there were times when I spoke to yourselves and you asked me things that would have been difficult, that wanted decisions. So, Lenalo Votano.
I don't know, Mr. Mabe, thank you. Just to clarify, please, what is the way forward on NEC determinations now, if you can help us out with that one? Then on the 2 voting candidates who were found taking photos, will they be disciplined? Do they continue to stand as good members in good standing of the ANC? And then there was an announcement, I believe it was by Head of Elections, Kgalema Motlanthe, former president, on reporting any attempted bribery to police. Do you know of any reports that have been made to police on attempted bribery of voting delegates? And then just a final parting shot, please. We did ask if we could get a little drive around in one of your golf carts to show what the mood is amongst delegates. If, as a parting gift,
you want to
be
do
open
what?
to do that. Take a drive with one of the golf carts around the precinct to see the mood amongst delegates as a parting gift, please. Thank you.
Okay. No, that's fine. I will talk to the team, and then it will be part of that open session that we want to do. I'll talk to the team so that we can arrange. Okay. Can I just say this? The idea really of coming in here was to give you an update of where we are in terms of the program. The SG has requested that we work on a briefing, possibly at 2 o'clock. Let me not take away the shine from the Secretary General. Let's allow our newly elected Secretary General, Fikile Mbalula, to come and engage with yourselves and make whatever determinations that he may want to make. By the way, we are dissolved ourselves. I'm just a caretaker, communicator of the ANC. Okay, I thought those questions meant that you release me. Because now that I'm dissolved, it also means disbanded. The NEC has been dissolved. It means that, and we now have got officials. I take directives from the Secretary General. He has said that we must work on having a briefing by 2 o'clock. Okay, you can ask.
Dinilo Shanga, SABC News. I was talking to a political analyst on the sidelines. This was before today's results. I had asked him who he thought was going to win. His response was, is there anything to win? Thought it was a striking response. Took me aback. What's your take on that? What is left in the ANC going forward?
Look, I think if an analyst say, is there anything to win? it has got a number of connotations. One, that can this revered movement still be seen as that which our people can hold on to in the same way that they did when the fight for liberation was being undertaken? Can this ANC still be trusted with that kind of responsibility? And very often, they arrive at those kind of questions because of our own conduct. The misnomers that are placed out there in the public, whether it's corruption, it's malfeasance, infighting, once associated with conferences, vote buying, all these are negatives. When I presented the communication strategy of the ANC that takes us beyond 2024, which was adopted by the 54th National Executive Committee Collective of the ANC, one of the things that we did there was to identify the negatives that push us back. And it's all of the issues that you are aware of. So, there could be something to win if we too work to fight the negatives that undermine or compromise how society out there views and values the ANC. Look at what happened. In the build-up to the National Conference, you would have heard many others bashing the ANC. Some even having, the courage to refer to the leadership of the ANC as crooks, as criminals. I had to go do mop-up on all of this. For them to arrive at that kind of a determination, it's influenced by the issues that are placed out there in the ANC, in society, to characterize what the ANC is supposed to represent. The president of the African National Congress, for that 54th National Executive Committee Collective, Comrade Cyril Ramaphosa, when he delivered the political report, pointed to some of these issues and placed it before conference that it is our own unity. Right? The ANC is actually united as an organization. What you find to be the problem of the ANC is challenges between individual cadres. And we can't use that to really define what the African National Congress must stand for. Cadres of the ANC had their different preferences coming to this conference. The first set of the leadership of the ANC, in the form of national officials, have been elected. Yes, there is something to win out of this conference. And that is the unity of the ANC. Each one of us who leaves this conference must be committed to work towards the unity of the ANC. And that unity of the ANC can only come alive if we show greater activism, selflessness, a great sense of responsibility. That is what is required from all of us. So there is something to win. But that which must be won is not a position of responsibility, it's a virtue. It's unity. Because if you win a position, it's only we comrades who can call that position in your name afterwards. When you get home, you are Pule Mabe. You are a father, you are an angel. My kids can't call me Somloma. My kids call me dad. My wife can't call me Somloma. She calls me Habi. So that's how it is. So if there is something to win in this conference, it's that virtue, unity. So cadres must leave this conference and go back and make sure that they propel forward the unity of organization. There are different preferences. The wishes of branches of the ANC has prevailed. They must now hold dear to the collective leadership that will emerge out of this national conference. So, yes, there is something to win.
Hello, it's Salilo here from Salam Media. I just wanted to quickly find out what is the general mood and the consensus from, internally the organization regarding the top 7. And you personally, you said you're going back to the streets. What does that mean? Well, in, literal terms, when you say you're going back to the streets.
Oh, okay. Yeah, actually, that question is helpful because it will also make you understand what we are also capable of outside being in these positions of leadership. The streets means corporate South Africa. People who are part of corporate South Africa don't have to stand for elections to be part of corporate. I agree we are also professionals, so that you don't think that our profession is branch delegates. Being a branch delegate is not a profession. Being in the NEC is not a profession. So I'm also a professional in my own name and right. So the streets of South Africa is where we exercise our trade, that which you yourselves are doing in the media and many others are doing elsewhere. So when I say the street, it's a metaphor to mean that I'm now actually going to start acting in accordance with my own professional space, or occupy or be in my professional space. So that I don't think that when a cadre is not elected into a position, no. But well, I've already told you guys, comrades, even before, that I was not intending to come back full-time at Lituli House. Even if I'd made it to the position of TG, I would still have maintained the same resolve. I want to see if one can exercise their own professional prowess in other areas, in other trades. And because contribution to the ANC does not only require us to be in positions of leadership. No. We can do a lot sitting on the other side where you guys are sitting. We don't have to be called leadership for us to believe that we've arrived in life. No. We led the ANC. We were part of the collective of the 54th National Conference. We were part of the collective of the 53rd National Conference. We learned a lot from those that we served and led with. It was a great journey. And anyone who's elected in the ANC, I will always support them. I don't support... once, you see, I retreat to the space of preferences when we are supposed to vote. Because when you vote, even if you have got principles, but you vote for people. So you have to say, who am I going to vote for? Otherwise, what I not can't jigga in a conference. No, you have to. But once elections have taken place and there's a leadership, you embrace that leadership that has been elected. Important, very important. So, if you ask, I'm quite happy with the outcomes, very happy. These outcomes are worth celebrating. The fact that they happened when the conference did not collapse, they are worth celebrating. Worth celebrating. In the ANC, we don't celebrate these individuals, men and women who have been elected. We celebrate success. The fact that the meeting of the ANC said and is successful, it's a good story for the ANC. It moves us even beyond the questions that all of you like asking before we start conferences. Mr. Mabi, are you sure that we're going to start on time? No. You can't measure a big organization like the ANC on timekeeping. Measure us on the resolutions we take. Sometimes to administer access control for the big numbers that attend our conferences is on its own a mission. I may not have time to convey this later on, but this team that put the media village, I must take this opportunity to thank them as well. They are human beings. It goes without saying that them having worked with me when I stood for a position of leadership, even if they might not have said so, they would have whispered to their own friends that we wish Pule makes it. They too must know it was not about me, it was about organization. They must continue to support anyone who comes into this position in the same way that they supported me. Because I found them here myself. I navigated through and worked with them. And in that short space of time that I worked with them, our sense of camaraderie came alive and we worked like a family. So, Aunt Pam and all of you, you will find a good spokesperson who will do this work. So, there are a lot of people who have got potential in the ANC who will arrange for yourselves to be driven around if the steering committee agrees. Comrade Mbak said he wants to talk to you at 2 o'clock. Steve, should we say 2 or 3? I'm worried about time logistics. Will we be ready with some statement of, should we go on 2? Okay. So you have got a question. Is that for me or can it be reserved for Mbaks?
It's for the outgoing spokesperson.
Okay.
Anissa Mazimpaka here with Salam Media. I think despite the time hiccups, we ought to congratulate the ANC for a successful elective conference. I got 2 questions. The first one is, are there any talks of a recount from perhaps the people that were contesting or from the delegates? And the second one, and feel free to call me to order, but I just want to find out, in the early hours of the morning, we saw the leader of the Economic Freedom Fighter already declaring a certain candidate as being successful. Is there any comment on that?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I saw many lists that were doing rounds which were even inaccurate on what ultimately became the results that were announced here. So, if I listened to the whispers, what people said to me, some of them even came to me and said, I did not even get 500 votes. People lied to me. Twitter, gossipy and all of that. So the Twitter streets are I grew up in the townships out in Palaburu. We always had that corner house where the sport, maybe just poto. So Twitter is poto. You play cards, you do Monopoly there on Twitter. So I only go to those streets on weekends because I was poto. So kiss poto. So ntotsa poto, we must not bring them here. So when you see things on Twitter written by others and just know who's potong. I go to no more conferencing. When you come to the conference, we'll give you facts. Comrade Mbalola did not even know that he might have been, I think, because Lena Unalo fell around the gospel. So he did not know that he has made it. He had begun believing in the league. So I'm preparing him. I'm checking where he's going to sit. Because I get a spokesperson, I have to arrange and know. If I was a naughty one, I would have messed up the ANC. Because very often I sit with very critical information of organization, but I don't share it with anyone. Because why? I protect the organization. By the time people come in results, because of our role, we have to know where are they sitting and all of that. Remember, if I was this weak individual, I would say, because I know that I've not made it, and then I call my team, hey, Philemon, please, can we start getting ready? We'll leave him. Where is comradeship there? So we'll give you get proper updates from us. We're available for Salam Media and for all other media outlets that are here. We're very much available. So if you have got questions, pose them to us. If you see leaks that you doubt, ask. If a report is delivered in the ANC and is delivered in a closed session, and you are a financial reporter, and you are interested in some of the aspects of those reports, you can come to me and say, Pule, I'm a financial male journalist. I'm interested to see the construct of how the ANC runs its finances and all of that. I can talk to the TGO and take you through informally on that report. Because, guys, South Africa, something you can find depending on how you request it. You understand? So you talk to us. I want an organizational report. It was delivered in a closed session of conference. We distributed it to the media. Because once those reports are delivered, even if we don't give them to you, if comrades can leak an NEC meeting where there are only 80, national conference where there are 4,000 and something, they take you through. So I will bring in the SG to talk to yourselves. But it has been good having all of you here. I will still be talking to you. But don't worry. I'm sure the incoming NEC will have a new spokesperson, will come in, introduce them if they so desire that we play that role of hand-holding. But if they are ahead and they already have networks, because what you don't do, you don't infringe on the space of others. You only assist those that request you to do so. So, thank you very much, members of the media. Unless there's another question.
How confident are you that you'll still finish on Tuesday? Because I know we're going into the additionals, and today I think we were supposed to be voting for the additionals. So where are we on that schedule?
Well, I will not do to Osgwen what I would not have wanted done to me. Which is, if a day is added, it means a bill. So it means before Osgwen gets to Christmas, so that which I would not have wanted done to me, I will be spiteful. So I don't want to spite Osgwen. So we have to push for conference to end tomorrow. Otherwise it means the new TG, as she comes in, she's going to be sitting on a huge debt bill. And that we can afford. We have hired transport, and this transport was hired for certain days. We've hired hotels which are being used by delegates. These hotels have been hired for a certain day, for a certain period. We've hired this facility, conference facility. This conference facility has been hired for a certain period. So we don't have a choice. You have got conference where you have got the choice of starting late, but you don't have a choice of finishing late, because there are financial implications attached to finishing late. Can we afford that? We can't. So we have to assist the new Treasurer General by making sure that we are prudent as members of the African National Congress on how we manage all of this. So thank you very much, members of the media. I'm sure I've clarified to you on my own personal issues as it related to standing and all other issues of organization. But we are still here, and we'll make sure that we carry forward with yourselves until we reach the finish line, which is tomorrow. So you will come and update them if we are winning with the tour, but we're pushing for 2 o'clock to have the briefing with the SG. Thanks. Zuma was inside the plenary. They even forgot. It means I have a conviction. It was not asked with conviction. It was. He was there. Where he occupied the same city he occupied.